Welcome back to LearnBC. You're here with Jared, and we're in a series called Procure-to-Pay. So this is all about purchasing within Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. And this series has 10 SOPs that we're going to cover, maybe more if we add to it. And this is the introduction. So let's get into it. 3 things that we talk about with every SOP. First thing is there's always a context and rules. There's always a procedure, and then we'll cover off outcomes and talk about, what happens if it succeeds and what if it fails. I guess before we get into this video today, could you please like it, share, give us a thumbs up, share it with your colleagues, comment on it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and it will help us build this community. And if you got any questions, email us at how@learnbc.today. Let's get started. Well, here we are in Procure-to-Pay. The series of SOPs gives us 10 SOPs, which we're going to cover off. First one is purchase and payable setup. We've got the vendor master, purchase invoices, purchase orders, approval workflows, receiving and posting, 3-way matching, returns and cost reversing, OCR and incoming documents, and purchase analytics. And so the first thing to understand here is we're delivering it in 3 blocks. Number 1 is video 0 to 4 is all about master data. If you get Business Central set up well to start with, she'll flow. 5 to 7 is all about controls, okay? And 8 to 10 is corrections, automation, and analysis. So streamline your purchasing operations with integrated procurement. I guess the first thing here is this is the backbone to your supply chain. It's an integrated platform, which means you have one single source of truth, real-time data across your whole organization, and it has a positive business impact. This directly influences profitability, operational efficiency, and vendor relationships. It enables you to give comprehensive support and receive it. It handles everything from vendor management to invoice processing and payment. And it's real-time visibility, which is really important when you're in the pressure cooker of business. You need to know where things are. Business Central is always up to date. So the business value here, the strategic procurement drives cost savings and operational excellence. So what does that mean? It means we're looking at cost reduction. There is an average of 10 to 20% in cost reductions when the saying, you manage what you measure. Okay, because Business Central measures your margins, you manage them better, you effectively then drive a culture that gets rid of waste, you get rid of leakage, and you generally will find efficiencies. You reduce the risk, so centralized vendor management and approval workflows reduces fraud and compliance. We have efficiency gains, okay, automation of routine task frees procurement teams to focus on strategic initiatives. Vendor relationship management, transparent communication, and timely payments build stronger supplier partnerships and financial visibility. So the building blocks, what are the 5 blocks? What are the 5 components for procurement success? Number 1, vendor and item management. Everything starts up front with the vendor and with the item. In Business Central, it always starts at the beginning. Do it right with your master data. And then all of your documents, your sales, purchase quotes, your purchase orders, your purchase invoices, it will flow beautifully when your vendors and your items are configured correctly. The next thing here is your purchase documents, understanding which one to use, okay? How you do a requisition, how you raise a PO, and whether you should go straight to invoice or not, depending on the efficiency that you're targeting. Receipt matching, so Business Central allows you to do a 2-way and a 3-way match depending on the circumstance. This just means purchase order, purchase receipt, purchase invoice, so supply invoice. The 3 will check each other and say, hey, the quantity and the value that I ordered is validated. Does it match? Yes, it does. Green thumb, and it goes through for payment. You've got approval workflows, which is your gatekeeping. Okay, so your delegation of authority for your business can filter all the way down into your teams. You can get an enterprise scale delegation of authority map can go into your workflows and make sure that it stops when it needs to and asks for approval. And the last thing is understanding your numbers, the fact that you can do analytics and reporting from the system. So navigation access, intuitive access, the navigation of search, we've got role-based views, mobile access, and custom dashboards. This platform is going to give you a capability for different teams to be able to give them the views that are relevant for them, and they can find anything at any time if that's what we're giving them permission to do. And so with vendor management, we build strong vendor relationships with comprehensive vendor management. So complete vendor and item profiles. We make sure we go to town. We've got standardized templates that we can use for vendors. You can use it also for items. Okay, make sure your templates are configured and consistent. You've got strategic classification, which allows you to split and filter and prioritize certain vendor relationships. You can track your vendor performance based on KPIs. And so things like on-time delivery, quality, or pricing accuracy. And the vendor collaboration empowers suppliers with self-service portals, which are easy to knock together using Dynamics and using the APIs and the portals that we can put together. So purchase invoices and orders, understanding where and how to use them. You've got an invoice and you've got an order. When you're using advanced warehousing and logistics, you need to use your orders framework. But if you're getting a utility bill or you've purchased something that doesn't need an order relative to it, you can actually use a purchase invoice, and making sure you understand why. They've got a shared characteristic. There's a life cycle, there's flexibility, and there's integration. And so the procurement cycle here, from purchase requisition to vendor invoice, the complete procurement cycle, you need to identify the need. And you can do that because you've got reordering points. You could have, for example, purchase blanket orders that are sitting there. You could have previous sales orders with other customers for that vendor's items. There's all sorts of things. And the demand planner within Business Central also will bring it to your needs. So procurement begins with identifying the need, whether from internal departments or from sales orders. And then you can take procurement straight to order, or you can use a requisition request. And so to do that, we use what's called a purchase quote. The purchase quote on approval becomes an approved requisition, which turns into your purchase order, etc. You've got your purchase orders, you've got your goods receipts, you've got your invoice matching, that three-way match that we talked about before, and then the payment and validating it with the vendor so they're across. So the control points here are at purchase order and at invoice match, okay? And we've got those workflow approvals that help us ensure that we are actually getting quality outcomes every single time and consistent controls for your business. So vendor collaboration strengthens partnerships and improves performance. So vendor portal visibility is a good thing. We developed a portal. So we've got an extension with Build Dynamics for offshore teams packing containers and shipping them into country. And so it's a container tracker that does landing across many POs, because as you're dealing with countries like China, you may send them 300 POs and they'll pick which ones they're throwing in the container because they don't really communicate what they're doing. This portal fixes that, and we gave it to them in Mandarin and simplifies Chinese, and they pack the container based on 20 foot or 40 foot, and it tells them the package layout to fit, and then it tells us exactly which product has been packed. And then we integrated it with a US vendor that tracks every single port in the world via API. So we know exactly where the ship's at, when it's through customs, all the rest. But the point here is the vendor portal saved tons of administration with our clients. Okay. So vendor portals could be used or built to turn around and get the outcome that you desire, to simplify and build a relationship with your vendors built on trust and built on single source of truth and touch it once, which means if they've got to send you something, let them enter it and then it's in. I don't need to to re-enter and have 3 or 4 people touching the process. Self-service capabilities is a big thing. Transparent communication, electronic data exchange, electronic document exchange, and then you've got your EDI as well. That's a consideration for that collaborative improvement. You want to be having a relationship with your vendors where you really are partners. You're partnered in going to market. So resource allocation, smart procurement strategies maximize value and minimize risk. So vendor consolidation, strategic sourcing, demand forecasting, inventory optimization, risk diversification, and data-driven decisions. We're almost through this. Keep with me. So what are the 6 controls that protect your bottom line? Number 1 is a budget control. If you've got a budget, the workflows can be tied to the budget and you can actually pause based on budget. You've got approval workflows that then can turn around and say, do you have authority? Do you have approval? You've got 3-way matching that checks, hey, hang on a second, the quantity is different, or I didn't get enough, or I'm being invoiced for too much. You have your vendor blocking. So if a vendor is banned, they'll be blocked, and it stops that those vendors where you're trading with and their liability. You've got your posting groups, okay, which gives you the ideal outcome for how this turns around and hits the chart of accounts. And then you've got audit trails across all procedures. So the controls effectively protect your business. So where procurement gets more capable is the following. You've got the exact cost reversing. You've got your OCR and your agent AI-driven reading of documents and filling in the system with Microsoft Copilot. You've got purchase analytics. We've got drop shipment capabilities out of the box. We've got multi-location and project-based. So if you're doing project procurement and you're wanting a project costing method, module, this does it. And check out our videos for that. Projects are fantastic. So I guess configuration is the foundation. It starts with your purchase and your payables. We've got to do your number series. We've got to do your posting groups. We've got to do your approval setup. They're the 4 core things in the foundation that will allow you to turn around and have a great procurement outcome. And so payment terms and currency setup complete the picture. Configure it once, changing these later causes reconciliation issues. So 4 habits that separate working from fragile. A written policy. Know what you stand for. What's the saying? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Having a written policy on procurement separates you from your competitors in knowing why you do what you do, which vendors you're willing to put up with. We've dealt with some vendors. They actually go out to market and will say, hey, we will not trade with you if you will not accept our document format. So when we get an invoice when we send them a remittance advice, they require that it's in this format. Otherwise, they will not trade with you. They're very, very clear. They're in demand. Everyone wants to deal with them, but they've got their system so well oiled. They say, we will not deal with you unless you conform to us. And sometimes you got to look in the mirror and go, hang on, I should be doing that. I would have so much better outcomes if we grew a bit of a backbone and improved our quality in how we operate by having some standards. So a written policy. 3-way matching is a given. Okay, it sounds simple, and it is. A lot of people just don't do it because it's not enforced. Consistent dimensions is a big thing. So we can track every single line in the system that goes through a document. So on a purchase order, based on dimensions, it could be the area, it could be the vendor, it could be the country of origin, the product type, the product group, it could be who ordered it, all sorts of dimensions. And we've got a series already in our training on dimensions, okay? But consistent dimensions, and clearly make sure you test, okay? Test it in a sandbox. Don't do stuff in live. Don't watch this video and go, oh, I'll go try that. Ask your team for a sandbox and it will go a long way for you. The key takeaway here is consistency in process leads to consistency in results. Automation is the enabler, but discipline is the driver. All right. If you have a shady habit of doing dirty data, you're going to have shady outcomes. You've got to make sure you push your team for quality data, gives you quality outcomes. So this session was the map, the SOPs of the manual, the cycle. So know the procure to pay end to end and where each control sits, the vocabulary, orders, receipts, matching, posting groups, landed costs, EDI, electronic document. Like, get into our vocabulary. You'll learn it in our training. Make sure you know what Business Central does do and what it does not, and the judgment when an invoice is enough, when the order is required, and what must be controlled. Okay, what each SOP adds: the trigger, the preconditions that must be true first, the exact steps to reform in order in Business Central, and the exceptions if it goes wrong. Okay, we said this at the beginning. That's what we're going to go through. So what are the 10 SOPs? Let's just click them all out. Here we go. We've got purchase and payables, vendor master, purchase invoices, purchase orders. That is all about setting up your master data and your documents correctly. We go into controls with approval workflows, receiving and posting and three-way matching, and then we move over to the analytical, the corrections and analysis, which is about returns and cost reversing, OCR, or receiving the orders through the agents, and purchase analytics. So follow us on this series. It's going to be great. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and email us at how@learnbc.today. There's going to be 10 SOPs that follow this video. We look forward to you coming along for the journey with us. We're going to have a great time getting procurement mapped out in LearnBC. I'll see you in the first video.